Okay, we're good. All right, so good morning, everybody. It's lovely having you here. As I'm sure majority of you already know, my name is Adetola Freeman, and this is me. You know, my online personality is a lot different from my person. All right, so some of you will not believe that I'm an introvert, but I am. You hear me talk and you see the way I teach and you feel, wow, that guy is a vibing guy. I am. But this is one of the only things that gets me to be really excited, all right, which is, talking about the financial markets. And let me quickly say that this is not just a training. Are you with me? If it were just a training, we would have easily done it online. And honestly, it would have saved me a lot of expenses. A lot. Are you with me? But we're doing this. This is actually like the first major physical boot camp I am ever going to have. And it's probably going to be the last. And like I was telling Larry, the only reason why I am doing it now is because the Lord expressly told me to do it. I love online trainings. It's fantastic. I can do it from my bedroom. I can do it from an hotel room. I can travel and have it. And but I'm saying this so that you can realize that this is not just one of those classes. Are you with me? It's not just one of those trainings that people go for and are like, wow, that guy knows how to talk. I'm not here to talk. My job here is to show you a system that has worked for me for over 5 years, but a system that has been around for over 300 years. I know that sounds like a lot. 300 years? Are you joking? Yes, 300 years. And it has worked again and again and again without fail. So, brethren, friends, brothers, this 1 month journey that we are commencing together, I can assure you that it's going to be a life-transforming experience. Not just because I am interested in it being a life-transforming experience, but because the Lord told me it will be a life-transforming experience. More than half of those of you who are seated here today are going to end this year with several millions. And that is not a joke. I woke up this morning as early as 5:30 to come and pray in this place. And I wasn't praying for myself. I was praying for you. And I am confident, without a shred of doubt, that many of you will look back on this 1 month journey and be like, thank God I came. Amen. Sorry if you are offended by amen, you will be offended a lot in this 1 month. I'm a pastor, and it's part of my lingua. Are we together? All right. There's a woman that's supposed to join us, and she's one of the main reasons why I've been trying to stall. She put to bed recently, but she's so passionate about learning this thing that she doesn't want to miss it. I think her child's naming was last week. Yes. And she was one of the first people to pay. Yeah, her child's naming was last week. So she's the reason why I've been trying to stall, but I think we can start. All right, so let me just lay a few ground rules. It's a 1 month training. The first 2 weeks are for the intensive aspect of the training. By the 3rd week, we'll start doing live trades together. All right? So these first 2 weeks is majorly us showing you and teaching you everything that you need to know. The 3rd week, we will show you how we use it. Are you with me? So it's not just, we don't teach you, here can they go. No. And then by the 4th week, which is the final week, we're going to have, that's our assessment week, which is the week where what we have shown you now, you are going to use it to trade a prop firm challenge that you must pass in that 1 week. That you must what? Pass in that 1 week. If you are able to pass in that 1 week, you get your certificate, both from the prop firm and from EasyFX Academy. Are you with me? Failure to pass in that 1 week means that you are going to have to retake it again the following week, and again the following week, and again the following week until you pass it before we issue you our certificate. The reason why is because the Templar brand is so important. It's a system, it's an identity that I am trying to build. And I want to build it to a point where if somebody says I have a Templar certificate, I'm a Templar certified trader, I can trust you with $5 million and know that there is no devil in hell that can make you blow that money. So are you with me? So it's not just a certificate to say, I attended the training. No. It's not a certificate of completion. It's a certificate of proficiency. There's a difference between the two. When you complete a program, they say, Otipari, let's give him a certificate. That's not what we're doing. It's a certificate that says that we are putting our name to back you up, that this person is proficient enough to undo any amount. Are you with me? So you must pass. By fire, by force, you must pass. Tell your neighbor you must pass. Amen. All right, so our classes are going to be divided into two. 10 to 12 is the first aspect of the training. Then we'll go for a 1 hour break. For those who love games, who love to lounge and relax, this is a lounge. If you prefer to eat cooked food during your break, the Place Restaurant is nearby. ShopRite Mall is nearby. Captain Cook is nearby. No, Captain Cook is this way. There's Chapo. So it's a central location. Whatever you want to do, within that 1 hour you can do. And if you are the type that you prefer snacks, when it's break time, we just distribute some light refreshment. Light refreshment with emphasis on light, not the refreshment. Amen. All right, so, but that's basically the major thing. So by 2, we're done with classes. You can stick around, continue analysis till 4, because as you can see, I live here, so sometimes we're going to need to also have some privacy. I can't eat while you people are around, so I might not eat till 4 o'clock. Hallelujah. So that's why I'm saying that, my phone, have mercy on me so that you will not come the next day and see that I'm unable to stand upright. Amen. All right, so let's start. There's a handout that has been sent to the Telegram group. I'm not sure if you're on the Telegram group, sir. On the paid Telegram group. Okay. I don't know your name, sir. Idris. Okay. Wow, you are the one. Oh, beautiful. So this is Mr. Caleb. This is Mr. Ebenezer. This is Mr. Emmanuel. That's Mr. Damilari. That's Mr. Lekon. Olamilekon, right? So that's Mr. Idris. Mrs. Miriam is supposed to be here. Miriam Olaide, she'll join us, I believe, very soon. So, welcome everybody. Don't worry, you make friends because it's important that millionaires make friends. You understand? You need each other along this journey. After this training, I'll add you to the mentorship group where you see fellow Templars and you get to see the way we handle the markets from time to time. Are we together? All right, so let's talk about Forex. A lot of things on the handout you are not going to hear me say because it's already on the handout. You understand? And I am used to teaching without a script because I like to follow the flow of the Spirit. Are we together? So you can call it prophetic teaching if you like, if you are so inclined to do. So when we talk about Forex, there are a lot of misconceptions about Forex. And that's because many people think that Forex is how do I put it now? That Forex is a skill. Are you with me? Forex, in my opinion, is actually more than a skill. Forex is a career. Are you with me? And that's why you find out that in the United States, there's Wall Street. In several developed nations, they have particular environments that are dedicated to people who trade the financial markets, be it stocks or Forex itself. Are we together? And that's because you see people who say that I'm a banker, right, or I'm a bank trader, and they go to work Monday to Friday within a fixed period of time. Are you with me? That describes a career. No breaks, no holidays. It's something that you have already mastered. It's a part of your life. Are you with me? A skill is something that you have and you can do when you want to do it. So it's still up to you to decide whether to do it or not. But this one is a career. I want you to take it as a career. That's whether I feel like doing it or not. Do you know there are many skillful players that are not career players, footballers? You, I hope. Because if you are a real footballer, I shouldn't be beating you 5-1. Are we together? And I'm one of the worst players in this house. So I've allowed it. I'm just saying. You shouted 2-1 when you came in, so allow me glory in my own too. So, being skilled as a footballer does not mean that you are a footballer. Does not mean that you get paid for being a footballer. And there are many skilled traders who don't get paid from trading. And that's simply because it's not yet a career. It's not a part of their life. Are we together? And a lot of people don't even know that Forex is broad. You can get paid for doing a whole lot of... There's a plethora of things you can do to get paid in the financial market, even without clicking by yourself. And I'm trusting God that probably in the second or third week, we'll get to talk about a few of the opportunities that you can access without doing too much. In fact, we promised that we are going to teach how to get funding, access to funding, up to $100,000. And we are going to do that. You people are making my head sweat. That's why I'm not used to a crowd like this. All right, so when we talk about the financial markets, it's important to understand how it all started. Because one of the most common questions that I've had to address when I started teaching Forex was, hope is not going to crash. People ask you that question. Hope this market is not going to crash. And if you don't understand how the market came to be, all right, how it even evolved to the state where it is right now, you might be tempted to assume that it would crash. Are you following me? So let's quickly talk about what exactly is the origin of the Forex market. Forex did not start as foreign exchange, as cash or liquidity. Forex started as commodity, which was initiated by rice traders in Japan. They had abundance of rice to sell, and they were exporting, all right? And they needed to be able to track the trend. They needed to be able to track what their prices were over time. Are you with me? They needed to be able to document, exactly, that's the word. They needed to be able to document the change, the fluctuations in prices, all right? And that was with the aim of being able to decide. For example, now we know towards Christmas period, the prices of things inflate, all right? And that's because there's an increase in demand. So they needed to be able to also determine what periods of the year, all right, had increased demand and increased demand or reduced demand. Are you with me? So that they can be able to plan better towards processing, harvesting, and storage, things like that. Do you understand? So, and the way it started was, they started by just marking the sale price. All right? Also, in the month of January, this was how much a bag of rice sold for. The month of February, this was how much a bag of rice sold for. In the month of March, this was how much it sold for. Are you with me? So typically, their charts were looking something like this. All right? So January, let's say it sold for this particular price. February, it increased a bit. March, it dropped a little bit. Then April, it went higher. Then May, somehow it just dropped. So these points that they have, they can just easily plot it like this. Are you with me? They could just easily plot it like that. The fan was not allowing you guys here. Oh, sorry, bro. Love and light. All right, so don't mind me. I'm like this sometimes. So this chart, as beautiful as it is not as informative as it should be. Why? Because not all traders were going to sell for the same price. Do you understand? And rice is not something that, because I want to buy, I just get there. You tell me it's 5,000 naira per bag. And I say, okay, take 5,000. We negotiate. Do you get it? We argue over price. And the truth is that it is actually in the negotiation that I'm able to know what is the future of that commodity's price likely to be. Let me give you a typical example. Many months ago, if you go to the market and you say, I want to buy a bag of rice, you could easily price it to 28K. And the person will still sell. But right now, if you price it to 35,000, they'll still tell you, I'm sorry. Maybe you should check the next shop. Do you understand? However, if after a while, somebody that has a shop with 50 bags of rice to sell, and it discovers that 30 people came in 1 month, and all of them were pricing it to 35. And when she says no, they walk away. What do you think such a merchant will start to do? The person will start to consider, maybe we should drop prices a bit. I would mean. But if we just have 35K is the price, we will not be able to predict what is the likelihood of a drop or an increase. Do you get it now? So, because of that, the Japanese traders needed to now start taking into consideration other price points that might not have been considered as the closing price, because this now is just based on close price. How much did I sell it for? Do you understand? How much was it sold for? That's all they cared. This is going to show you. So, because of the nature of what I just explained, all right, being able to see what direction the negotiations are going, and the majority of people saying, I'm sorry, I can't pay you. For example, bike men in Ilorin are very interesting. Some weeks ago, if I want to take a bike to church, they say 300. I'll be like, come on, Bola. The guy will be like, no, if it's not 300, I'm not going. Good. But then I noticed that after a while, I say 200. He'll be like, no, bros, now you cannot pay 200, now you pay 250. And they'll not allow me to climb. Now look and say, wow, Saka is a teacher. Because on that, the reason why we can use this example is because we know the way our economy is going. Things are expensive, but people don't have money to buy. So whether you like it or not, you are still going to need to make allowance for people to still, to still accommodate prices that may not be on par with the current economic reality. Do we get it? So it is in that negotiation that the main information is that helps us predict what's going to happen next. Do you get what I'm saying? But you see, this will not show us that. So they needed to be able to take note of at least 4 major price points in order to be able to determine or to predict what's going to happen next. So they had to add open price. How much was price last month? How much did we stop last month? Do you understand? So that becomes the open price for this month. If we ended July at 35,000 naira per bag, if that was the price we ended July at, we are starting August with what? 35,000 naira per bag. Or at least that's where we are supposed to start from. Do you get? Unless maybe, the way they used to do their midnight announcement. Unless maybe they just did midnight announcement and say, you see, I don't like the way people eat rice in this country. You eat rice too much. From now on, we have banned both importation and selling of rice by the roadside. If they do that, then we know that August will not open at 35,000. August will likely open at like 48,000 because Those that are selling will also be considering they can arrest me for selling rice to you. Do you get? Because our president never promised us rice. All he promised us was corn, avocado, and beans. That's what he promised us. So if you're selling rice at this point, you can be criminalized. That's just what I'm trying to say. Sure you understand. So they needed to have the open price. These two prices are good, but still it does not reflect the negotiation. And like I've shown you, the secret juice is actually in the negotiation. Do you understand? That's how you are able to gauge. For example, now if I'm selling something 15,000 and like 10 people came and priced it down to 800. You know, I have two options. Is either I stop selling that thing completely in that place, and maybe I go to the airport and start selling it. Those ones can afford it. You understand? Sorry. Sorry. Hello? Good morning. You saw our billboard, sir. Please text me on WhatsApp. Yes, please text me on WhatsApp. I'm actually in a training right now. Thank you. God bless you, sir. Airplane mode. Thank you. Okay, so now we are free. All right, so the needed prices that reflect the negotiations, which now gave rise to high price and do you understand? So the high price tells you what was the highest price negotiations got to. You know, you enter some Igbo man shop, you're like, bro, how much be this boxer? This one original HK. Tommy figure, see as they stretch. Okay, this one at 15K. You know, on a normal day, you might go and say you don't want to price, but me, you know, you people are big men now. That's why you came to learn for it. Me, if I hear 15K, I first divide it by 2. That's what my wife taught me anyway. I was not born like this. I first divided by 2 and then had small talk. Go buy 8,000. If you now say no, you don't agree. Last one, 10,000. And now look, let's do 8,500. If you don't agree, I'll now work. Finish. Because I've tried. I move, you move. That's how negotiations are made. Some of you don't even know how to negotiate. You think you just get there, you just call price. If you don't agree, you now walk away. Come on. But maybe you don't need that in much. So we now have the high and low price, which reflect the highest price the guy took it to. Are you with me? And then the lowest price negotiations went to. I want to buy 1 bag of rice. They say it's 50,000. He said, go buy 20K. So already in that scenario, your high price is what? Your low price is what? So it's now left with whether you will end up buying or not. Do you understand? Which now means that if you price something to 20K, but still I was able to still sell it to you at 35K. What conclusion can you draw from this negotiation? I told you something is 50K. All right? You priced it down to 20K. But at the end of our negotiation, you still ended up paying 35,000 for it. What can you deduce from this small negotiation? And that's the close price. But what can you deduce from that close price based on the high and the low? I know they met in the middle too. The price is high. That's not a marketing conclusion. Yes, sir. And I know there are other prices also that are waiting. I want you to think like a rice seller. If you call something 50K for somebody, person price it to 20K, but ended up paying 35K for it. It's not the best price for both of you. Oh, you people never sell for shop before. No wonder. Suffering is bad. Not just equilibrium. What it will tell me as a merchant, as a seller, as a vendor, is that this person really needed it. You don't get it. He really needed it. From 20K to 35K, means he really needs it. Which means that the next person that comes, if he also really needs it, I can do 35, 38, 40. You don't get it. But at that point, I will not want to go below 30 because I've seen that, people need this thing. Oh, wow. You get it. That's how traders think. You see, what they call candlestick patterns, is simply based on this small psychology I just showed you. There's no big deal to cancel. One is hammer, one is pin bar, one is this one is lie down. It's not. It's the psychology behind the candlesticks that determine. Okay. I don't want to jump into candlestick patterns, but let's continue this. Are we together? It's still a foundational class. Okay? So we'll take it one step at a time until you get to that point where you're like, wow, so now Forex be this, I don't so far. Now some of you have paid for courses and you felt like, this course is so sweet because you saw the person riding a Lamborghini. Well, I don't get Lambo, but I have the Lamb of God. No, who be Lamb of God? I mean, they won't sacrifice. Come on. I'm a sheep. He's my shepherd. I don't be lamb. Are we together, Jerry? Don't mind that too much. So, somebody will think that that's what you graduated with. You deceive yourself. Don't worry. Sometimes I tend to enter prophetic jokingly, but don't worry. All right, so this was now what gave rise to the need for them to stop drawing prices like this. Are you with me? So the way they started drawing prices became something like, their price picturing now became like the way they run a relay. Are you with me? When you are running a relay, the person that is coming points the button, right? Forward. So, this is where we are coming from. Are you with me? We are coming from here. The person that is in front that wants to receive, we also do what? Stretch his hand back. Are you with me? So, just picture it. This guy, this is hand at the back, right? This is it. I know, the head is far from the hand. Sorry. I'm not trying to draw people from one part of Nigeria. All right, so he's stretching his hand to the back to receive the baiting. All right. Now, we now have, after he has received the baiting, when he wants to hand over the baiting, he's also going to hand it over forward. So are you with me? He's going to point it forward. Okay? Now, in between where he received and where he handed over, we have the highest price, we have the lowest price. So this will be the high, this will be the low. So what do they simply do? And this became a bar chart, where this is the open price, this is the close price, this is the low, this is the high. Is it making sense? It's making sense now. Sorry, now that it's making sense, let me drink water. Abi, I should not drink water. Caleb, should I drink water? You didn't understand bad chat like this. You see? That's why you need to relate with people like us. If I had taught you in school now, maybe you'd have gotten first class. But if you calculate money now, your head will be spinning. Are we together? He likes money. He can calculate money in his brain. This is what you're looking at. Ordinary small calculation that day. Check your calculator. If it's wrong, I will change it. Come on. It's just calculation for crying out loud. It's not even real money. It's just money on the board. And you are fighting. Okay, I allow it. It's fine. Are we together? But Japanese people, they also like younger a lot. They are posh, they are prim and proper, they like things looking cute and organized and all. Are you with me? So when they look at this thing, they say, what can we even do to make this thing even a little bit better? So what they simply did was, let's connect this to this. All right? Such that if the close price is higher than the open price, we give it a particular color. And if this is the open price, this is the close price, this is the high, this is the low, we give it a different color. So here, the close price is higher than the open price, which meant that price went up. Here, the close price is lower than the open price, which meant that price came down. It's not a prayer anyways, Sha. So this now became known as the candlestick chart. So, Daddy, those magic you used to see, this is what it don't make sense once more. Correct. Mr. Lakon, is it making sense? Did it add up? Very good. 1 plus 1 is 1. If you add water plus water, what does it become? Water. Just that I told you 1 plus 1 is 2. It's a lie. It's only if the 1 and the 1 are two different ones. That's when it becomes 2. If it is the same one, it is 1. I'm giving you word of wisdom. You are looking at me like you are confused. You can't be confused. And you said you did not have good teachers. That's binary. Since how many years? Anyways, it's the marker for me. If people want to choke me with marker, I have 2 here already. Oh, I should be using it, but it's not showing well on the. It's not very clear. God bless you. Yeah. Okay, so for the one that came down, we can color it red. For the one that went up, we can color it. So, this now became the foundation for representing price interactions in the Forex market. Remember how the whole thing started? It started from selling and buying rice across the world, right? And because the purchases were happening in different currencies, are you with me? People were paying them in different currencies. So they had a chart for the price of rice against each currency. Do you get it? So it was also helping them to determine who their biggest customers were so that they know who to favor more. Do you understand? For example, now in the course of this training, now during the break, there are people that if they take 2 biscuits, I'll fight them. Yes, but there are people that if they take 3, I'll just be smiling. Because I know I'll collect my money back. Someone like him that cannot take 3 biscuits and I will fight. I can't fight. I just follow him to the airport and make sure that some of his luggage is lost. And you pay to redeem them. It's as simple as that. Have you? So you eat 50 naira biscuit, you pay 5,000 naira. It's a fair trade. It's demand and supply. You needed the biscuit, and I needed the biscuit. We both won. All right, are we together? So, when people now ask you, hope the market will never crash, the answer to that question is simple. As long as the world continues to need to buy and sell in different currencies, the market will remain. Unless maybe towards the time the Antichrist is coming and then, everybody starts spending the same currency. And I would not even advise you to still be alive by then, you understand? If you're alive by then, well, I don't know what to say. Even me that I want to live long, I'm not sure I want to live long to that extent. Do you get it? Peace of mind is important. So, it's important to understand that the market is going to remain for as long as we spend different currencies. As long as Nigeria still needs, the United States, sorry, don't mind Nigeria. As long as the United States still needs to buy things from China and pay in their own currency, all right? As long as Russia still needs to buy things from places like South Africa and pay in currency, you understand? As long as currency exchange is happening, the Forex market will remain. So clap for the Forex market. Because that guy has done me well. He will do you well too. That's why you are not part of my students. There are phones that my students cannot use. See ring phone like what they used to use to call wait time. Are we together, Jerry? All right, so as interesting as all of this is, all right, we are just scratching the surface. Remember, this is our first class. We're just trying to build momentum. All right, we're just trying to build momentum. And as we progress, it's going to become a lot more clearer to the point where you see the chart, and even without any serious analysis, you can understand the psychology behind each candle. Do you get it? You can understand that, wow, during this candle, the negotiation went so high, but somehow they were still able to drop prices drastically before they closed that trade. Do you understand? For example, if I see a candle like this, and it happens at the top of a trend, all right? Whether or not I understand candlestick patterns, I can already see that this was the high, this was the open, this was the close. Let's say this was the low. So what does that tell me? This was the open, right? Buyers, because buyers are the ones that come in with demand, and demand causes increase in price. When there's increase in demand, prices tend to go higher. Do you understand? And when demand is lower than supply, prices drop. So here we see that when we opened here, the buyers came in with demand, a lot of demand, and prices were pushed all the way up here. Right? But then, the sellers were still able to resist the demand so much that price ended up closing below the open price. What does that naturally tell me? It tells me that the sellers have a higher hand than the buyers. So what should I be expecting? Sell. Did you need 3 hours candlestick pattern class? No. You just needed candlestick psychology. You're not feeling too well. Sorry about that. Don't worry, you get the recording. Okay. Amen. Emma Farrell. I've been saying the way it was looking. But money must be made, sure. Money must be made. Okay, Jerry, for the rest of you that are not laughing. Now all of you now started laughing. All right, so it's important to understand that for me, I don't memorize things. I don't do well with cramming. You know, ICT traders cram their models, entry models. This one is BSL, this one is SSL, this one is... I don't do well with cramming. How do I do well in school? I read to understand. That I'm in Nigeria does not mean that my life has to be Nigeria. So me, I read to understand, and if I don't understand it, you ask me a question about it, I'll write to you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. And at least I graduated. Did I not graduate? So as simple as that. Are we together? You know, so it's important to understand that the better you understand the market, the easier trading becomes for you. Because you are no longer trying to just do trial and error, and then you are trying to say, this setup is based on this, I've seen this one, I've seen this one. This is a market maker model A, market maker model B, market maker model C. This one only works in US session. This one only works in Asian session, Asian high, Asian low, manipulation of the Asian low, so that we can now start buying. If you are chasing all of that, you have gray hair on time. You have gray hair on time. In fact, your children will be wondering, Daddy, why? When you go for PTA meeting and you are the only one with gray hair, you'll be like, why? Primary school PTA meeting, you are coming with gray hair, why? You understand? Like I tell people, I want to live long. So, good morning, ma. I've told them a lot about you. You're welcome, ma. You're welcome. It's beautiful to have you. Why are you not putting camera on? All right, guys. So she's the one I told you that I was trying to just calm down and wait for a bit. So now we need to understand that the reality of the market is way beyond one particular pattern or one particular system, one particular design. All right? The psychology of the market is what really matters. Being able to understand, why are the buyers buying? Why are the sellers selling? How much power do they still have to either continue buying or selling? Are you with me? For example, now, if somebody enters your shop and starts to price goods and ends up not buying, there are several conclusions you can arrive at. But one of those conclusions must also be the fact that what if it's because he doesn't have the money? People do window shopping. But if your own conclusion is that the person walked away because it was too expensive, you have already shot yourself in the foot. Do you get it? So, when you understand the market psychology, you'll be able to realize, why did the buyers stop buying? Is it because the market was too expensive for them to still buy? Or because they don't even have the cash to continue buying? Do you get it? And cash in the market is what we refer to as liquidity. Okay, please let me drink water. All right. So, you see, when you are beginning to see that Forex is not difficult, you are beginning to see. It was supposed to be. It's because I'm the one teaching you. If I want to teach you the way they will teach you too, I can teach you like that. Yeah. We can even start with harmonic patterns. We can start from there, then we enter Elliott wave theorem. Then I'll now go into accumulation, manipulation, distribution. AMD. They will now join AMD with Quasimodo pattern. So that by the time you have memorized like 15 different names, you will now have a big whiteboard in your room. Okay, show me really. Me too, Richard. I gave you a So, but my aim here is to help you simplify the market so much that the space of time between when you decide to buy or sell and when you actually click buy or sell is short. You know, there are people that they are seeing the setup like this, but they are still wondering, should I click it now? I became click here. And let me wait. It might not even end up clicking itself. And by the time they now confirm that yes, it's time to click, market has gone. So to help you avoid all of that, we're going to be doing slow and steady. Okay? Break things down to the point where your understanding is not based on no, your understanding is deep. So that even if you stand in front of somebody and you talk to them about the market, they won't say you are somebody who just took one course. They'll just assume that, man, the way some of you are looking at me like, hey, we. Don't be like that. Correct. Trader will not get swag. I never make money. All right, let's go on. If you like, go and write it as quote. Maybe we send you. Okay, so now, when you understand the fact that as long as exchange happens between currencies and economy, the market is going to remain. What that will do now is that it's going to strengthen your confidence in this thing. Are you with me? So that you will not be wondering, is my money safe? Hey, what will happen now? Hey, hope they will not come and close the market. No. Because the truth is, any business that you are doing without confidence in that business, it will affect your passion for that business. Do you understand? So, when you have confidence that the market is going nowhere, are you with me? You know that if I come back tomorrow, if I come back next tomorrow, if I come back in 6 years' time, the market will still be here. So, which means that there is no point in trying to make 6 years profit in 2 days. Do you get it? It's dark, Abby. What happened? It's too much. Don't worry, don't be snapping them. Leave me. Snap them. And don't block our video. Wait. All right. And secondly, there are so many traders who teach flipping. I don't. Can my students flip? Yes. Do I advise it? No. The reason is because I know that I want to live long. And I know that the market is not running anywhere. And like I said, it's a career, not a skill. It's my profession. So it's not something I want to do for 1 week and build a house in Lekki or buy a house in Lekki and say I'm a retired trader. No. I want to do it till I'm 70. And by then, I will not even be trading on the chart anymore. I'll be trading via phone calls. Some of you don't know there are people that trade via phone calls. You just call your account manager, buy social stock, 100 lots. That's how we'll be trading by then. Don't worry. We are going far. We are just starting like this, but we are going. So, it's important to realize that flipping can be good in the short term. All right? But what it does to your psychology is that it makes you trade desperate. Are you with me? And that's why, rather than flip $10 to $2,000, I would prefer to trade a $10,000 account, a $100,000 account, and make $2,000 every day. You get it? Rather than say, oh, I flipped this $50 to $2,000. I can do it this week and next week it will fail. You get it? But those are the strategies that I'm selling. At least I've seen somebody that asked me about this training that am I going to teach how to flip? I said, well, if you are not flipping in a swimming pool, I don't think you have any business flipping at all. Are you with me? So I don't see, like I said, your training here is to help you build a career, a lifestyle. Do you get it? That's why you remember the conversations we had. I'm not somebody who is trading to buy a big house, live large, travel the world. I'm trading as an investor. I want to trade to a point where I have as much as $1 billion in investment, and I can say, yeah, this is where we are right now. Do you get it? And I'm not planning on doing rituals in case you are wondering, where will you get $1 billion? Ritual will give person $1 billion. Babalawo said we don't do it. If not so easy. You are saying Abalis that has 3 children, he didn't use any of them for ritual. You came to him for ritual. And he's asking you to bring your mother. Why didn't he use his own mother? If not so ritual, easy rich. Are we together, Jerry? So, this is the mindset. Because, usually when people teach Forex, they have psychology sessions separate. Me, I don't want to have psychology sessions separate. All right? As we are learning, I want you to start cultivating the mindset, the psychology behind it. And not wait for one particular week where we now start saying, so this week now is psychology we want to teach you. You don't already late. Who don't want flip from beginning? Don't already make up your mind and say, Wallah, I'm going to use this to flip. The one. The fact that you spent several hours to get here does not mean that you go and say, this market, why I had this up and where I suffer, you say, go fill up. No, that's not the plan. Are we together? So, that's the mindset, okay? Which now defines the fact that when the first time you look at the chart, are you with me? There are 3 questions that you must be able to answer. Every single time you look at the chart. There's a song that we used to sing several years ago. Rántí, 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 onígbàgbọ́ rántí o. Tètè rántí, ohun mẹ́ta wọ̀nyí. Nobody knows the song. Níbo ló ti wá, dáadáa, níbo ló ń lọ, gbẹ̀gbẹ̀. Tètè rántí, ohun mẹ́ta wọ̀nyí. Rántí, rántí. It's a gospel song. Atoríṣe náà. Rántí, 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 onígbàgbọ́ rántí o. We did choreography that year, but, I'm simply saying this because those 3 questions are the 3 questions that you must ask yourself whenever you look at the chart. All right? How is rántí part of the question? Rántí means remember. It means remember. So, question 1, where are we coming from? And where is price coming from? 2, where is price going? Number 3, is it ready now? Is it ready to start going now? There are people that trade on vibes and inshallah. When they open the trade, whether it's ready or not, they shall open it. When you are ready, come and join me. How will you tell the market? I know you are going there. Whether you are ready or not, when you are ready, come and meet me. No. No. It's not advisable. It's not advisable. No, that's also. You've not seen where somebody open. As I'm looking at this thing now. Okay, let's just open it down. So as it's going down, they are praying, it's gone down enough now. This guy go back up now. You've not seen people pray that the market should go back up before. Don't worry. Don't worry. When I first started trading, there was nothing I didn't tell God. Nothing. I made promises. God, if this thing can just go back to my entry, if this trade can just go back to my entry, wallahi, there's nothing I will not do for you. Let it just go back to my entry. You don't understand? When, as a pastor, you place a trade and then you lose the trade. You're like, but who do I let me now? Check me money. Like, God, why will you call me and you still be allowing me to lose money? Hey? You know that this is our job, we don't collect salary. Even the small that somebody also now in market and carry it. Do you understand? So that's vibes and inshallah, God will do it. Let's just open it now. God will do it. See, do your best and leave the rest. It's not in the Forex market. Though. Do your best and wait. Are you with me? When it is ready, join it. You do your best, you not leave the rest. Bro. US elections, the last US elections, I lost a 100K account on that election. And that's because I was not the one trading anyway. The guy is a senior colleague. In fact, his academy was one of the academies that I learned trading. So I just trusted him that, you sabi this thing, I sabi am too. So, how you teach me part of these things where they sabi these days? How far? Tell me, guy, this thing will go up. Dollar will go up. It's election period. People will be investing. Investors will be putting money into the elections and they'll be doing a lot of spending. Don't worry, US economy will be stronger. Okay, it will be stronger. USD ZAR, I cannot forget in my life. USD versus South African rand. He passed first resistance. He passed second resistance. If they go the third one, see, this thing, if it support, this thing, go back up. I said, don't worry, it will go up. As I'm even remembering now, sir. To cut the long story short, brethren, men and brethren, maybe if my broker will return my money next year, maybe if they will decide to be generous. But now that money did not come back because it went down for almost 2 complete months. Because it started before my wedding. And as after my wedding, it was still, going down. And so you can imagine that. That's why you call Yawojo. How will I dance? My account is dancing. You ask me to dance too. It's a division of labor. Either one of us must dance. No, don't think about my life on my behalf. I've thought about it enough. Are we together? So, these 3 questions are the pivotal questions that determine how successful your trades will be. All right? Now, say, in a class like this, in a class, you see as everybody do the laugh. You can't make money with a serious face. You can't. I'm telling you are frowning at the chart every time. You have high blood pressure early. I'm telling you. That's why there's game. If you open trade, it did not go your way. That game soon. You are okay again. And if you are waiting for a setup or you have opened a trade and you don't, there are people that when they open a trade and it's entering drawdown, they will quickly go and close it. I don't do that too. Is it that stop loss or TP? Anyhow it be. You leave it. You get it. So when I open a trade and I want to take my mind away from the trade, I can go and take it. Sometimes if I can even go and be chasing things that I'm seeing running around. Maybe I just see one bike, I go and check whether it's bike. When I see people fighting at the roadside, I go and check at the window. Just to keep myself busy away from the chart. Are we together? So it's really important that you get to ask yourself these 3 questions. When you ask yourself, where are we coming from? The question you are trying to answer is, what is the trend? What is the current trend? When you ask yourself, where is price going? You are asking about points or areas of interest. Then when you say, is it ready now? You are asking yourself, where is the best entry? You don't they show? Is it getting clearer? Sorry. All right. So those are the three questions. So we're going to take them one after the other. All right. But that's when we come to technical analysis. That's for a later time. Are we together? So, sorry, let me quickly check the handouts. Make a no good job. It is for your benefit that I do not jump. Because I can teach you everything in that manual today. But, hey, sorry, I didn't see your text, man. Hey, someone. Sorry. Okay. So we're going to go now to, I'm going to leave this aspect down here. Let me just take off this. Because like I said, those three questions are pivotal to the success of your trading. Woohoo! Please make sure they can see that my writing is fine. If you need to zoom in, zoom in. No, not in the video, like in the. So they know we get it right. All right. Yes, of course. That's why you are here. Yes, out the previous day. And you know, for example, now, there was one night that we all went and slept. Fuel was 350, 360. You are following me. And then when we woke up in the morning, filling station said no fuel. And by 12, they said, oh, now there is fuel low, but it's 620. What decided the open price? Well, you are right. So sometimes the closing price from yesterday may be different from the opening price today. But that will be dependent on some hidden things that happened while men slept. You know, Forex market players. Remember I said that the Forex market is sustained by foreign exchange, all right? The constant transactions across economies. Are you with me? The constant transactions across economies, all right, from Nigeria to, sorry, why am I mentioning Nigeria inside Forex? As far as the Forex market is concerned, Nigeria has no rare. Nigeria has what? No rare. Because currently your Naira is about 900 to $1. So, although it's a thing of partial rejoicing, but not everybody are Forex traders. So, I can't say because it favors me, it should affect everybody else. I don't know if you get it. I can, but I don't want to. I'm a pastor. Okay, so when we talk about the Forex market players, it simply boils down back to the major people that engage in cross-border trades, all right, international trades. Are you with me? So we divide them into categories, one after the other. Just let me drink some. It will soon be time for break. So those of you that are looking at me drinking water with longer throat, don't worry. Your time is coming. Amen. All right, so the Forex market players are divided into three major levels. All right, we have the big banks. All right, commercial banks. The big banks are different though from the commercial banks and the hedge funds. Mr. Samuel, are you in the paid Telegram group? You've not been added. Let me add you. Sorry. Because the handout is in the Telegram group already. We have the big banks, we have the commercial banks and hedge funds. Then we have, to some extent, the retail traders. Although retail traders too don't really have that much rep. But let me be sure that. Okay, sorry, central banks. That's what I meant by big banks. But please don't assume that our CBN is part of it. Because your CBN that is having dollar scarcity because make a note of it. Yeah, so we have central banks, we have commercial banks and hedge funds, like I said. All right, then we have investors, like big investors, like all these Microsoft, companies that are not banks, all right, but they are institutional traders. Then we have retail, but like I said, retail traders do not have serious rep in the Forex market. It's around, yes, it's around. Please walk. No, we still fix up the washing machine's exit, entrance and exit, and the complaint they have about the kitchen. Please let me pause this recording for this person. Okay, so as we're saying, all right, we have the big banks, which are the central banks, all right, and the central banks serve as the, how do I describe it now? Like the major forex centers in the world. All right, there are 5 major forex centers in the world. We have New York, we have London, we have Tokyo. Which other one is there? Is it Frankfurt? Let me check if it's even here. I can't remember. But each of those banks define the different forex sessions. Yeah, the different sessions in the market. So we have the New York session, the London session, we have the Asian session. I think we also have one. What's the name of that place? I'm trying to remember the name of Sydney. I can't remember the last one. If I score 4/5, me self try. I better not try. Try. So this central banks, all right, they serve as major forex centers in the world, okay, such that the bulk of the transactions are handled through them. Are you with me? And that's why the London session does not open until the central bank, the European Central Bank, is the European Central Bank? ECB. No, that's good. UBB. BOE, Bank of England. Sorry. So the London session opens when the Bank of England is open. The New York session opens when the Federal Reserve Bank opens. Yeah, Federal Reserve Bank. Tokyo, I don't know them before. But I think this should be ECB. Tokyo should probably be BOJ, Bank of Japan. You've been around, sir. Wow, impressive. Sorry, the reason why I don't know it is because it's not part of what I do when I check the chart. I don't check sessions, I don't check time zones, I don't. When it ripe, it ripe. Are you with me? Say you know if you pluck fruit for night, now because nobody you get it. Are you with me? I can't have fruit tree in my compound now. You are telling me I can't pluck at night. Why? Yeah, so now why me I know they look time. Anytime where I feel like say I want chop, I go market, go find where I go chop. You don't pass like that. Are we together? All right, so we have the central banks. Then we also have the hedge funds and commercial banks. Hedge funds and commercial banks. Hedge funds are companies that manage large funds, like large sums of money. Right? They have clients that pool money together. All right, say they can have like 100 clients, each of them putting together like maybe $1 billion, something like that. Putting it together, and they trade it to give interest to their clients. All right, and so they are referred to as hedge funds, and then there are commercial banks like your Stanbic IBTC. I'm not sure GTB and all the others are really serious about the forex market that much, because they prefer to borrow you money and collect interest than to put their money in forex. ECB means European Central Bank. BOJ means Bank of Japan. BOE means Bank of England. Are we all there? All right, so after the hedge funds and commercial banks, we have the institutional traders and investors. Now, these are like companies that are not doing hedge funds or commercial banks, all right? They are just like large investors trading their own money, all right, or money from other people. Part of these commercial banks now, we have some of the top banks. We have JP Morgan. We have the Chase Bank. There are several of them anyways. There should be, what's the name of this one too? Wells Fargo. Caleb, are they here waiting with the thing? From my heart to yours. You're not here waiting me to I think, ma? Good. Now only two of us will understand. But I know what he knows, and he knows what I know. Communication complete. Are we together? Don't mind me. My own kind of pastor, I do weird things at times. Just bear with me. So those are some of the major banks. There are a couple of others. I can't remember their names right now. Can't remember their names right now. Because nobody there they work. Nobody then they pay my money. So, but we have institutional traders, and then we now have retail traders like myself and yourself. Are we together? And the daily turnover in the forex market, the amount that is traded usually every single day currently in the forex market is about 7 point something billion dollars. Every single day. So ask yourself, Why can't you make 0.0000001% of this per day? Let me use calculator. I know. Don't do this. Make a come out. Make you not be like say I don't want to make up. So that's about $7,000. Are we together? So if they have 7 point something billion every single day, just chop your own and relax. Come again the next day or come again next week. Do you get what I'm saying? Nobody's asking you to do 10% one day. If you even do 10% in one day, there's every likelihood that you get arrested. Frankly, there's every likelihood you get arrested. Because you're a ritualist. How much you want put for market when you go collect 10% or 7 point something billion? Oh, so you now put 2,000 in the market and make $700 million, and they will not arrest you. My brother, there's no fun in that. You cannot claim that you are trading, whereas you are a murderer. So what do you expect to happen to your broker? You make $700 million in one day. So what should your broker do? Oh, now why they call him broker? Correct. So I no can't trade with my broker. May they no say money where there's a pay me. They don't pay so client. Oh, you don't go sleep. Don't try me. I remember there's someone that I heard about that made a profit of about 1 billion naira, and his broker had to tell him to stop trading for 3 months. Lodged him in an hotel and told him, don't even bother about trading. Anything you will eat, anything you will drink, whatever expense in this hotel, we'll settle it. They paid him, but they said they didn't have the money on the ground. So they paid him gradually for those 3 months. They were paying him small for 3 months. And those 3 months, they told him, please, just don't trade. Just be here. Just be here, be enjoying your life. Anything you want to do with money, do it here. We'll pay. But see that your 1 billion naira will be giving you gradually. But unfortunately, after he collected the money, EFCC went and looked for him and carried him and collected more than 70% of it. Do you pay tax for Forex? Do you? Are you a taxpayer, sir? From inside your Forex profit? Indirect. Okay. That's when you know that EFCC have record of all your movement. They found him, confiscated all his property, all, except the ones that registered in another person. Yeah, and the person is in this Ilorin, but you don't know. He was in this Ilorin, but you don't know. And all of that happened in this Ilorin. No, cartoon EFCC, GTA. Somebody that paid tithe, they even arrested his pastor too and said the pastor should return the tithe. Okay. You are fortunate. That's what I'm telling you. Don't come in the forest market and want to blow at once. Eat small, come again. Eat small, come again. Don't allow person focus eyes on you as if you're a criminal. Are you? You are not. You are just, it's a career. Treat it like that. Nobody will collect 100,000 naira salary last month and then this month he wants to get 5 million naira. Will they not arrest him in the company? A thief. Company property to the extent of collecting 5 million naira salary, not commission. Commission is different now. You worked for it. Salary is a different thing. It's a basic amount. Do you understand? So treat it like a career. If it is that every day, or at least every week, I just want to do $1,000. $1,000. You're a baller. What else are you looking for? If nobody say you get gap theta for Yabi, you don't know your laptop can charge with it. Wow. You should pay for that knowledge. My laptop too charges with Type-C. But you need a Type-C charger that is solid. Where's my charger? The one you are using to charge the laptop. Now come and try charging his laptop. So you pay for it. I won't think that I'm doing my own for God. I'm not doing my own for God. All right, so these four traders, these four categories of players are the main people that determine the bulk of what flows in the Forex market. Which is why whenever these banks, any of these banks are on vacation, their local currency will not have much volatility, will not move much. Are you with me? For example, if the Federal Reserve Bank is on holiday, if they have bank holiday, that day, dollar will not move much. If the ECB is on holiday, that day, euro will not move much. Reason being that they are the biggest, they are the top tier players. They are the ones coming with billions of dollars that they can throw around. And for them, they don't necessarily make losses because they were buying and price did not go up. Do you get what I'm saying? You know, for you now, if you say you are buying and price does not go up, you record it as a loss. For them, that's not how it works. Are you following me? A central bank can deliberately lower the value of their currency to encourage investors to come in. Do you get what I'm saying? China does that a lot. Nigeria does not have that wisdom. Because Nigeria currently has one of the worst corporate taxing structure in Africa. That's even if there's a structure. Because once they see that you came as a foreigner, you have a company in Nigeria and it looks like your company is making money, they want to squeeze that company to death. That's why many companies are pulling out of Nigeria. Many foreign companies are pulling out of Nigeria. Are Indians good investors? Indians that pay people 700 naira per day. Those are not good investors, so in fact, we should strip them away. Because they are used to manual laborers, employing unskilled labor. So they pay ridiculous. But that's a story for another day. Nigeria is a complex economy. So these big banks, you know, a lot of people focus more on all this NFP news and all the likes. The reason why those news have the kind of volume they have is because majority of the decisions on that news influences the decisions that these banks take. When there's increased unemployment, these banks need to respond to that news. Do you understand? By either creating an adjustment to favor the unemployed, you understand, or adjusting their policies, or just doing something to give people a soft landing. Do you get what I'm saying? So, that is the breakdown of the three major market players and then the fourth one, which is you and I. Do you understand? Nobody goes to hunt a shark with a toothpick. Can you? No, vibes and inshallah. Or if I give you a kitchen knife and I tell you to go and kill an elephant, will you go? Because you know that what you have cannot carry what you are going for. Do you get it? That is why a retail trader should never on any occasion be trying to say, oh, I want to outsmart the market. The market is too big for you to outsmart. The best thing you can do for yourself is to partner with either of these three big guys. Are you following me? And how can you partner with them? You must be able to train yourself to see the market or to interpret the market the way they interpret it. Are you with me? You want to ensure that You are not trading against them, but you are partnering with them. When you know the kind of things they see that makes them buy, are you with me? It means you also want to quickly join them. Do you get it? When you know the kind of things they see that makes them sell, you also want to do what? You also want to join them. There is no pride in saying, walai. I mean, you can last with a place straight bank and there for sure. Or for that. Mo joju one. Brother. Hey, my God. Over Joju Bank. Okay. Some people have tried it and they have scars from it. You know, there are people who, when they place trades and the trade is going against them, they start funding more money. In real life, you've not seen people like that. They start adding money to their account. They start depositing more money. Oshima Lord, it will still go, it will still go. I met somebody in a corporate meeting in Lagos who was complaining that the broker still allowed his account to blow, even though he was adding money. At least they should have considered the fact that he's adding money and not allow the money go like that. I could not laugh. He was complaining that he lost $5,000 on a trade. I was like, $5,000. And that kind of person, if you ask him to come and pay $200 for a class, he'll say, I don't have time. It's too expensive. But when they are seeing drawdown, they can quickly start piling up more money. Well, wisdom is profitable to direct. So, now we're going to, from here now, all right, in the next session, we're going to go into some of the ways that these guys interpret the market. All right? So that once you're able to know, of course, institutional traders, that's the level where we have SMC, ICT, and all those jargons, but I will not be teaching you all of that. I'll be teaching you the Templars trading strategy, which I dare say is the best strategy in the whole wide world. The reason why I said it's the best is because it's one of the major strategies that is wired to give you long life. It's designed to give you long life and prosperity. It's in the coding. So it's not until your birthday before they wish you long life and prosperity. This one, I know it will give you long life and prosperity. Are we together? Yeah. They used to sing one song. So if you have this kind of thing, we know that and you will be definitely safe from people coming to ask for how much you owe them. Are we together? So that's what we're going to just focus on in the next session. It's going to be another interesting session, but I think it's time for our short break right now. So celebrate yourself for being here for the past 2 hours. Amen. All right. So remain seated. We'll give you small biscuit. If you are interested, you can eat.